This makes so much sense when you see it edited this way, and nobody explains it like this. I'm talking about what exactly tunnel vision is in Doom Eternal Combat and how it hurts you. Let's take a look at this awesome Zero Master clip from an analysis video I did. In this, he has no tunnel vision. Notice the Baron on his left side. It's coming after him fast, but he sees it, he knows, and reacts, and he survives. Now, when a more novice player has tunnel vision, here's what it looks like. Notice that they're so focused on what's happening directly in front of them that they don't see what's on the sides. What you should try to do is focus on what you need, yes, your primary target, but keep your peripheral vision actively aware of what's going on around you and even behind you. This is more than just the visuals. This is the auditory cues, listening to everything going on with your recharging of your equipment and the enemies behind you, and knowing where everything is on the battlefield at all times for whenever you need to recall that information. There is one tip that I find myself giving everybody that helps anybody whenever they come into the Discord and ask for help or ask me in a comment or anything, and let me teach you that now. They say, Alston, I forget to use my chainsaw or my ice bombs. How can I just get better at the game and learn to use these things? Well, what I say is this. First, find your weak point. Let's say it is not using your chainsaw enough. What I want you to do the next time you go in battle is think, okay, I am going to look for areas and openings to use this chainsaw. It's going to be my focus. I am going to be a better chainsaw user. Think proactively and positively about it. Now, don't let it overtake everything else to where you forget to use your guns and blood punches and your equipment and all that sort of thing. Just make it mindful, top of mind, that you are going to use the chainsaw and look for these openings when you find them. That is what you need to focus on, because if you go and you're like, all right, I need to get better at using a chainsaw, but I also need to get better at quick switching, I need to get better at equipment usage, that's just going to be a mashup of all these things in your head. And when you get out on the battlefield, what's going to happen is you're going to be like, all right, I got to do this, wait, I got to do that, but then I got to do that, now I'm overwhelmed with all the enemies. See what I mean? So if you do all the things that have come instinctually to you over the time that you've learned playing the game, which need to be good habits and not bad ones, because the bad ones will just force you to do the wrong things. So you focus on the thing on the chainsaw and you get that to become second nature. That's the key. Make it to where the chainsaw is natural to use when you need to use it. When you've mastered that, you go to the next thing. You say equipment usage. All right, maybe I'm going to figure out better ways to use my ice bomb, and you focus on those. But in the meantime, that chainsaw usage has become a nature to you to where you are doing this without thinking about it like you once were. Now your focus is over on the ice bomb. Once you've mastered that, you move on to, say, using your quick switching. Do you see what I mean? You get these things, you put them in your head, they become your nature, and then you move on to the next. If you find that you begin to lose one, drill it as well. Don't make your focus go in 70 different directions when you need to systematically annihilate them and rip and tear them one by one. If you watch this video to the end, you'll have a complete understanding in just a couple minutes of when to use PB Rocket and when to use Lock-On. Let's dive right on in. So first of all, you should know that Barons and Tyrants both have around a 30% resistance to Lock-On, but it's so powerful that it is worth using on them. If you want to trade off all of your rockets for a kill, about 12 of them just like that, it can be absolutely worth it. So Lock-On is really good against mobile targets, as you know, instead of trying to PB Rocket and get exactly in there on them. Now, if you want to take a look at a Whiplash, they're a perfect example. If you want to take a look at a Prowler, they're also a really good example. When you have Lock-On, you need one target, but there's also times you want to use PB Rocket on a single target. I will explain that in a second. When you're using Lock-On, you have to consider the geometry around you. So, for example, take this Revenant up here. If I want to take him down, if I lock onto him and I don't do it right, you can see I tried to kill the Revenant, but my rockets hit this right here, because as I'm falling, I'm not shooting them up over to the Revenant. So watch this. If I'm going to fall, oh no, I need to get the Revenant. Aim them up a little bit. Consider your geometry going around walls or where they may be as you use the Lock-On. So we know that Lock-On's good for single targets, but there are times when you want those single targets and Lock-On's not the greatest idea. Well, when would that be? So say we have a group of enemies. A perfect example would be up here. It's going to be hard for me as I'm seeing that Whiplash. Oh no, I targeted the imp and I'm trying to get the Whiplash, but my Lock-On switched. Do you ever have that happen to you? I sure do. Well, when you're in this situation, this is where PB Rocket shines because of the splash damage. No longer do you have to just look at this Whiplash and look at this. You're not having to focus on which you want to target. You're getting everything and still getting the rocket damage in. Check it out. So you also, instead of getting 3 rockets, you get a precision and a rocket, and you get actually more damage in there, which is very nice if you want that splash damage for the crowd. So if you have a very high mobile enemy like a Pain Elemental, PB Rocket's good, Lock-On is also great, but watch out for those lost souls. 90% of you have never tried the best Maker Drone strategy, console, PC, doesn't matter, for Doom Eternal and the DLC. Let me teach you how. So if you're an Ultra Nightmare especially, your hands are shaky, nervous, you keep missing those Maker Drone headshots, you don't know what you're going to do, well, let me teach you how to fix that. First of all, everybody knows to use the ballista, but there's a lot of stuff that they miss. Yeah, it has a bigger splash around it for the radius that it has. It's easier to get the headshots, but look, you have to line up right between that. This is where they go wrong. Let me show you how to do it. First, go to your settings, UI, crosshair style, go to dot. Now, what this will do means that you only have to line up directly with the dot, not in between of 2 other things. But that's not it. We're not done here yet. I want you to go to your arsenal. This is the part where people don't know, even know you can do this. Look at the bottom. See this? You can unequip or equip a mod. I want you to unequip your Arbalest or Destroyer Blade. Go up to your runes, change out to Chrono Strike. Even better. Now here's where all the magic happens. Get ready. Find your drone. This is optional. Freeze him. Look, we get all the benefits of Chrono Strike without even having a mod attached. And that makes it way easier to get a drone headshot. The big blast ballista, and then slow down. And look, 2 drones in, and we still have half our chrono left. How cool is that? Now, here's another thing you gotta watch for. Check this out. Say you burn up all your chrono, and we kill the con maker. Great. Or at least knock her down a little bit. And let's say you have no chrono left. Remember, she gives health back. And you're nervous. What do? Well, check this out. Just chainsaw. Go in with 3 chainsaw, and look. You have your one that restores. You got your chainsaw there you can pick up, right there, and right there. So you don't even have to wait for it to restore. Just go, pick each one up, doesn't matter, grab it. Oh, look, I'm in bad situation again. Boom, perfect. Come right over here to the other one, and you just got a second drone chainsaw. Now you're back in the con fight. Everybody knows the Crucible is OP in Doom Eternal, but do you really know why? It's more than just insta-killing an enemy. So we have to introduce 2 terms here. There's DPS, which is damage per second. You typically want a high number to have a lot of damage out on the battlefield. You also have TTK, which means time to kill. You want a low number here because you want a short time to kill the enemy. These 2 terms go together, a high DPS with a low TTK. So it's not just that the Crucible is an instant kill on the enemy quickly. The reason it is that way is because it's a low time to kill. That means you only spend a second on your target. You neutralize it and you move on to the next one. You don't get bogged down in a glory kill, which is nice for chain gun shield buffering, and you're right on to the next one. If it took 5 seconds to kill in the Crucible, it wouldn't be as good. But if it took 1, it's a lot better. Not to mention that you're taking 7,000 to 10,000 health Barons and Tyrants and taking them down just like that, easily moving on to the next one. It is the time to kill being so low, the damage per second so high with the Crucible that truly makes it OP. What's the real danger behind the Cyber Macubus that people don't talk about? It's not just the high damage or the tankiness that they have, it is the Goo's area of denial effect. See, if I want to go through this right here, I have to find another way around. I have to go up and over, I have to maybe ballista boost something to get me past that goo, because movement is so important in Doom Eternal, and when you can cripple the Slayer of his powerful movement, he becomes a whole lot weaker than just doing some damage to him. What you believe to be true is not. Let's take a look at why. Cyber Macubus, Blood Punch will deal massive damage and destroy its armor. Well, does that really matter in the grand scheme of things? Let's try it out. So we destroy his armor. Boom, with the super shotgun right into the stagger to finish him off. But wait a second, what if we come over here and we super shotgun first and then punch him? Wait a minute, he's in the stagger state again. Okay, maybe that was just a fluke. Let's do a freeze. That, boom, and he dies. What if we do freeze, blood punch, that? What if we attack him from the back with a blood punch? It doesn't matter. I actually hit all my clips there. The Cyber Macubus armor is just cosmetic. It doesn't matter what order you do it in or anything. Your blood punch, your SSG, it's just cosmetic. Did you know that? Let me know in the comments below.